and welcome to Student Talks. Yes, tonight we are going to have our fourth session again with different students from different universities from Turkey. So tonight we are going to have Selin Yiğit from Manisa Celal Bayar University and Buse Korkmaz from İzmir University of Economics. So when they are here, we are going to start our live session with them, and I'm really excited to listen to them. Okay, so I'm sure that it's going to be a very fantastic session with them. So let me invite them to the session, then we can start. Yes, Selin wants to hear, and after Selin, I'm going to invite Buse too. Yes, Selin is here. Hello, Selin, and let me invite Buse. Just quickly. I have invited her too. Yes. I think Buse is on the way.
I think.
All right. Are you excited?
Yes, I'm nervous.
Don't be. All right. It's going to be really nice, and that's fun. We will see. All right, and I'm sure that it's going to be a very fruitful session. We are looking forward to listening to your ideas about your language adventure. So we're still waiting for Buse to connect.
I wouldn't be so nervous if this was face to face.
It's okay, I can understand, but don't be. Just relax.
Because other ones is watching.
Let me check again. One more time. I have invited Buse. Sorry, these technical problems sometimes can happen, so we are waiting for Buse.
It's okay.
All right then.
How are you then, by the way?
Thank you, I'm fine. I'm really fine, and I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to listening to your ideas. I'm just wondering what are you going to say about my excellent questions.
Let's see.
All right, so you know, yes, I think there she is. Can we say Buse? Are you there? Yes. Hello, Buse.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right then. Wonderful. Okay, so both of you are here. So I think we can start now. Before both of you actually, the welcome to Student Talks. All right, it's really great to see you here. And before starting our session, I would like to say thank you for accepting my invitation to Student Talks. Yes.
Thank you for inviting us. This is a big opportunity for me speak. I'm shaking, sorry.
No problem, it's okay. It's great. But Buse, I think she's having kind of a connection problem.
Yes, I think she is.
Buse, maybe because of your headphones, sometimes can happen.
I guess
Hello?
you are back on now. Yes, I can hear you right now. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Oh, it's much better now.
Yeah.
Okay, we were just saying that I told you that, like, thank you for accepting my invitation to Student Talks, and it's really great to see you here.
Thank you. It's great
All
to be
right
here
then.
too.
Okay then. So I don't want to waste time. Let's start. Let's start because people are. I'm sure that they're looking forward to listening to you. Okay. So this question to both of you, like, can you tell us about yourself, please, and a bit about your experiences in language learning? Let's start from you, Selin.
Okay. Hi, firstly, I am Selin Yiğit. I am 24 years old. I am studying International Trade and Finance at Manisa Celal Bayar University. My English adventure started with my aunt. My aunt used to buy English children's book for my brother and me to read when we were little, and that's why I have always had an interest in English. And it got better in high school because I was watching lots of TV series during the summer holidays,
Uh-huh.
and I was watching that series for 10 hours a day that summer.
Wow.
Yes, that was a lot. And also, my high school teacher helped me a lot in these experiences because he gave us lots of, I mean, us, the whole class, gave us lots of words to memorize, and he pushed us a lot about it. But thanks to him, I built my vocabulary back then. And I remember he was giving us about 20 words to memorize and them down each week. And actually, he was doing something good because he was trying to bring English into our lives by giving us homework all the time.
Uh-huh.
And lastly, there is my prep year, which I learned a lot, and teachers were amazing. I love them all, and I wish I could go back, and I couldn't get enough there.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Selin. What about you, Buse?
Oh,
Okay. I'm studying in Izmir University of Economics. I'm an architecture student. This is my third year. I will graduate next year during this time. So
Nice.
pretty excited about it. And when it comes to English, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I don't know about that exactly, but I skipped prep year and also the first English class, English 101 in college, during college. But I think my journey started a little bit early because I remember watching Disney Channel and pretending to be one of those
Nice.
actors on the TV shows, and this is how I actually started to talk to myself in the mirror and try to just try to talk like them. So I think it just started like that, but it's kind of improved in the middle school, and of course in high school. We nearly had 15 hours in every week. We had main course classes, we have skill set classes, and we had Cambridge classes for Cambridge exams like CAT and PAT, stuff like that.
I see.
Yeah, we also did a lot of things, like we did readings and writings in the skill set classes, so it just kind of improved with that. I mean, we every week we used to write an essay and then make it into a presentation. So I think my peak years for English was probably in high school. But of course now my since I said I'm an architect, all of our classes are taught in English. So of course
Yes.
it helped me a lot to, in the name of communication in English. So yeah, just pretty much that.
I see. Thank you very much, the both of you, for making it clear for all of us. All right then. So let's move to the next question then. Let's Buse. We're gonna start from you now. What was or were your turning point or points in your own education?
Well, I don't think I ever had a turning point. I mean, it was always straightforward. Never went a little bit bad or never went a little bit higher than I used to be. So, I mean, I don't think I have a turning point. I mean, it was always stable for me. So it was just like not the best, but not the worst. It was maybe 4 most of the time, but it was okay. Yeah.
It was all right. Thank you very much. What about you, Selin?
I just got one. I agree with studying this apartment was my turning point because before this apartment, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I want. And before I got in, I did lots of research about departments, and I asked myself what I want to do in my life, with my life. And when I asked myself, I realized that trade and money have always interested me, and I just love the money. I want to know how to earn it, how to play with it. And I got this apartment, and I love it. And I think this was one of the best decisions of my life.
I see. Okay, thank you very much for sharing your experiences with us and your points about it. Okay, so let's move to the another question then. So this question again to the both of you, like, could you find enough opportunities to practice speaking in the class and outside the classroom? Buse.
Well, I think I can say yes. I mean, in third year, in every student of Izmir University of Economics takes the essential speaking class. So we basically just speak in the class. Like there are different students from different departments, and we are basically being practiced on speaking. But on the other side, I always had to chance to speak English with my friends during high school, during middle school. Wonderful. Because you know, the internet and social media, you know, it has a huge impact on us. So we just kind of redeemed that. And also I had the chance to go abroad for a couple of times. So I practiced my speaking skills in there too. So I can say yes. Yeah, I kind of created these opportunities on my own. If I can't find someone, then I can talk to myself. Like it's always go on like that.
I see. Can I ask you a question? Where have you been? You said you had a chance to abroad.
I was in Ireland, Dublin and Wicklow when I was 13 years old, and I went to Stockholm, Sweden, and like in the beginning of May, I was in London with my family for like a week or so.
I see. Great places to visit, really.
Yeah, they were amazing, really.
Wonderful. I love London. Okay, yes. What about you, Selin?
Actually, I was unfortunate a little bit because I never had anyone around me to practice speaking. So back then I didn't know think about it. I didn't care. But it's okay to have no one to practice because actually, since I'm learning to the beginning, I'm talking with myself in my head for like when I watch something, I repeat that conversation in my head. But also, this show is a big opportunity for me to speak English, and I'm glad that you are having me. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, you are welcome. Really, it's nice to hear it. Okay, thank you. All right, so this question for you, Buse. Actually, you had like, you know, the tens of like of exams like and quizzes in your English classes. Maybe you have also right now. Like, do you think they were related to the real life? If not, what kind of questions would you like to see in the exams?
Well,
hard question.
I can say yes, but also I can say no too. I mean, like in English 301, yes, it is part from the life. I mean, we are learning about Schengen visa and its interviews about it, and but in high school, as I remember, it wasn't really pretty useful because, I mean, the grammar was so hard. I'm 100% sure nobody around the world, even if they're native in English, uses that grammar. I'm pretty sure about that. I mean, it was just pretty hard for us. And the thing was, I mean, we were writing about, reading about things that are just not very daily. I mean, I do not think English classes were like more to be daily, but I think it's a chance to improve students, how to say, general information about history or different cultures, because if you will just check up any English book, you can see some information about different cultures or some different informations about different things. I remember we were studying the big fire of Chicago. I don't know what it has got to do with English, but I think it was a different thing in our country, that it was just like more cultural thing than it was a daily thing. So yeah, it kind of, yes, it was helpful for me to come today, but it was also no. I mean, it wasn't really daily. I have to admit it.
I see that. Okay then, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, so let's move to the next question then. To the both of you, I'm going to ask you these questions. Can you describe a good example of a learning environment in terms of English classes? Selin, let's start from you.
In an ideal class, it would be start with the teachers. The teachers who encourages their students to speak English, speaking with them English. And there would be, as I said, no, I saidn't that. What has been taught in the classroom should be put into practice by teachers. And it would be best if students were exposed to what they have learned and what they repeat what they have learned. And teachers who give their students corrective feedbacks and supports them, not yell at the slightest mistakes.
I see.
And that's all.
That's all. All right then. What about you, Buse? What is your idea about it?
I mean, definitely non-judgmental. I mean, this is the prior thing, the most important thing. I mean, the students should be non-judgmental against the other students. The teachers shouldn't be judgmental the other students. And I also think that level system is actually a really good way to create a good environment, because if you're in C1 or B2 or something like that, you wouldn't really be interested in a class which has been taught in A1 or A2, you know, in the Cambridge levels. So I mean, it will create more engagement if every student is close to each other in terms of speaking skills or writing or reading. It can create a better engagement and better environment. But of course, the main thing is for me being non-judgmental. That is the only thing for me, actually.
I see. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your ideas about it. Okay, yes, Selin, this question is for you. If we could have, what would you skip or added in your English lessons?
If I could, I would definitely add more speaking in high schools and middle schools, because I think that's where the problems begin in English, because, you know, high school is where you build your second language. And I think speaking is as important as grammar while learning English. And let's say, okay, you learned grammar, and you may be good at theory, but there is no practice. And as you see, that's why most of the Turkish students can speak proper English unless they go abroad or something, or a language school. And I see this as a problem, and that's what's missing at schools. Practice is less. And they tell you what to do, they teach you grammar, they teach you some stuff, but they don't teach you how to use them.
I see.
And also, as I don't know, I said that, but teachers shouldn't make compromise about speaking English in classes. The way students push themselves to speak English, and for example, in my prep year, that's what's happened to me. There was a speaking teacher, Sedan Hoca, who I love her, I adore her. She pushed us to speak English, and I'm glad that she did that to us, because I am much better than before, because I was too afraid to speak then. But I'm not afraid anymore, and because of her, I got over that feeling.
I see. It's great. But I just wanted to mention something here. Like, until now, like I have talked. I think you are the eighth. I mean, like, yeah, the fourth sessions that we have done. Most of the students that we mentioned here, all of you, that we need more speaking classes in our English
Yeah,
lessons more than grammar.
yes.
You're all the same idea about the grammar lessons. But I think whatever what you say is really, I agree. I can't say I can't agree with you, but I should say definitely, yeah, I totally agree with you. Okay then. So let's move to another question. Now, these are very critical questions, by the way. You should be careful about what you say. I'm just kidding. What makes, to both of you, I'm asking you, what makes a teacher the best and the worst for you? Buse, let's start from you. Because
The
maybe your
best
teachers
and
are
the
listening
worst.
to you here.
The thing is, I think the teacher should find the fire for the class. What makes them engage, what makes them happy, what makes them want to speak, what makes them want to attend the class. So it
Uh-huh.
can depend on the age group of that class, or it can depend on their interests. So you have to be a little bit more into your students. You have to figure out what they like. So if you're interested with them, if you're caring them, then you can be a good teacher, yes. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're just like, I came here to just go on that book, no, it doesn't work. It never worked for me, at least. I mean, yeah, it's just like you
I
always have to
see.
find something that will entertain your students. I mean, I remember that very, very well, even though it happened in the 7th grade. I remember that we had a teacher that was he was giving the skill set classes. We used to play a story writing game. You probably heard the game called When, Where, Who, and stuff like
Well,
that.
of course.
It was something like that. Each group were writing like 3 or 4 sentences, and the paper was passing to the other group. And we were writing a story. We were changing their storyline. They were changing our storyline, and we were just practicing our writing skills like that. I mean, of course, it was a little bit informal, but it was very helpful, and it's a memory that I still remember.
Uh-huh.
So it must be good. It must be effective. So yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
about finding the interests of your students according to their age group. Of course, you cannot do it in a university class, but you can do it in a middle school class. Yeah,
I
basically.
see. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. What about you, Selin?
I think the best teacher should be who encourages you to do something without no judgment and who lets you do mistakes. A good teacher should push you without any anger. And like I said before, there was a teacher, Sedan Hoca, who encouraged me to speak English in the lessons. And when I did mistakes, she always told me, it's okay, you're good, continue, you're doing great. And thanks to her, my speaking got better that year. At least I am much better than before. And she never compromised in the lessons about speaking English. She forced us, but in a nice way, to speak English. And the teacher who gets angry at the slightest mistake of her or his students and offends them is a bad teacher for me. That's my only condition.
I see. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. All right. So let's move to the another question. Buse, let's start with you now. What materials or activities keeps you most engaged in English classes and why?
Debates, 100% debates. I
I love
love
debates. Yeah.
debating. I always have an opposite idea, no matter what. If they say A, I probably have to say B. If they would
B.
come up and say, that book is very well, and if it's my favorite book, even if it is my favorite book, I will say, no, it's a very bad book. I can talk about opposite things for like hours and hours. So debating always catches the class on fire. Everybody become engaged because while debating, you get a little bit aggressive, you get a little bit angry, and you just want to speak to your what comes to your mind. So
Uh-huh.
one way or another, everybody tries to talk. Everybody tries to say something. Especially in controversial topics. Like I remember having random debates with my friends about women's rights. Boys were really getting mad at me, and the girls were getting mad at boys. So it is like quite a controversial topic. It can be about anything. It can be about race. It can be about gender. It it can be about LGBTQ rights. I mean, the things that can differ people, and just see what your class is actually capable of. I mean, they just really go crazy. I can say that. I mean, it happens to me a lot of time during classes. So I watched my friends, how they get really excited when the debate's getting on. So yeah, pretty much the debates are my favorite things.
Yeah, I really also love the debates because you have a lot of chance to do in debates while you are competing or debating or discussing the ideas with a different, I mean, like, you know, different ideas. It's, you know, you have a lot of chance to do it and say and discuss, and as a also group works, you can do it, or sometimes individually, but you have lots of chance to do it. I also love debates. Thank you, Buse, about the idea. All right, so let's move to the next question. This question again for both of you. Like, do you think? Let's start with you this time, Selin. Do you think you have learned how to learn? For example, after all these years, like those years with English lessons, can you start learning another foreign language on your own?
Yes, I can, because I'm going to learn Russian this summer because I like that language. I already bought 3 books to study. I think that first of all, you need to build your vocabulary while learning grammar. It's have to goes both way. For example, I'm going to practice basic grammar rules and repeat them until I learn, until I'm able to speak just a little bit, to say what I need or ask something. And also, for example, I understand English better by listening what people say each other. Like I'm an observer. I observe people, and I repeat the sentences in my mind. And since I learn by observing and listening, for example, I will watch TV series and movies, and of course, I will read. I think I will read as a start children's book, and it can be also helpful to write a journal in that language you are learning, and also the helpful thing that imitating sounds of the language you are learning is important, because after a while, by imitating the sounds in your head, you begin to understand when you hear that language. And that's all.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. What about you, Buse?
Well, I thought I did, but in fact, I did not. For like 4 semesters, for the first 2 years of my college, I took Italian classes, and I still have no idea about Italian. So I think I couldn't figure out how to learn. I mean, the thing is, maybe it's not because enough material around me, or maybe it's because no one is pushing me. But unfortunately, now I couldn't learn. I mean, I think it's because I needed to learn it, because if you're interested in it, just like Selin said, if you're just liking the language, if you just like the movies and I don't know, the series, the TV shows and stuff, and if you're just interested in it, it becomes a little bit more easier for you to learn that language because you're interested. For example, yes, I took Italian courses, but I know more words in Spanish than in Italian, because I just watched a couple of TV shows. I watched Spanish movies a lot. So yeah, it's about being interested. I mean, if you have to learn it, then you cannot do it. But if you want to learn it, then you can do it. The thing shouldn't be learning in that situation.
I see. Okay, then thank you very much. And I hope you will learn in other languages in the future as soon as possible. Which language you want to learn? Okay, then. So let's say this question is for you. Do you feel that you have learned how to read and listen in terms of language skills?
Yes, I do, because I can easily understand an English TV show or a movie without subtitles, and I can easily read a book in English. I am much better at reading and listening than speaking, because speaking, as I said, is not something I do in my daily life. But at least I listen music every day, so English is always in my daily life. For example, in high school, when I watched something in English, I had to read carefully the subtitles, and I couldn't watch just the movie. And if I missed the subtitles, I had to rewatch that scene again, and that was so boring for me. But now I can watch something while playing with my phone, and I understand without looking at the subtitles. And that's a big relief for me. And what I'm trying to say is, as the name implies, these are the receptive skills, read and listening. And that's about the receiving. And in my opinion, as humans, we are tend to receive things. So that's why my receptive skills are more developed than my productive skills. More productive skills requires much more study and experiences.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much, Selin. Thank you very much to both of you for the questions about your language experiences. And now let's move to another other kind of questions. Like, yes, Buse, let's start with you. Can you tell us 5 phrasal verbs that you always use in or outside the classes?
Good one. I have no idea actually. The thing is, I've noticed some, because when somebody asks me a question like that, I always get lost, because everything I know just goes back into the side of my brain. I just forget everything. But I've figured out that I use figure out so much.
Okay, one is figure out. Nice one.
So because of the juries and the critics we take, I most of the time had to find myself. I have find myself that I'm saying, yes, I will catch up with that. Yes, I will find a way to work this out, to figure this out. I know I messed up. Yes, I'm about to freak out because of this class, like this stuff, like that. So yeah, calm down. So catch up, find out, hold on, figure out, work out. These are the ones I always use in the studio classes for architecture. So yeah, these are probably the ones that I use the most.
Very useful phrasal verbs. Like, thank you very much, Buse. What about you, Selin? What phrasal verbs do you use?
I use give up a lot in my exam weeks and hang out a lot, because I use that hangout a lot, sorry. And I use that after the exam weeks. And turn off, I use that in order to save electricity. I couldn't stand to look at something wasting. And fourth one is workout, because I try to work out once a week. And lastly, I was gonna say that, Buse, you said it first. Figure out.
Figure out. It's a very popular one. Figure out. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move to another. Thank you very much for these very useful phrasal verbs. We'll keep them in our minds, definitely. Okay, so this is really interesting question. I'm really wondering what are you going to say about it. Let's start with you, Selin. If you could have one superpower to use in the classroom, what would it be and how would it help?
Actually, there is two. I want to read people's mind, especially teachers.
Wow. Oh, very serious. Okay.
Just teachers enough. Or I want to understand everything at once, so I don't have to study for exams, because studying stresses me out so much. I have a problem with studying.
I see. Okay, thank you very much. What about you, Buse?
Probably being invisible, so they wouldn't come up to me and ask me something. I really hate them when they do that. I mean, they always ask a question that I probably actually 100% don't have an answer for. So just being in the back, being invisible, it will be really good. Yeah, it would work in daily life too, obviously.
This nice one, being invisible, is really nice superpowers. Okay, thank you. Yes, let's move to another question. Yes, what was the biggest challenge that you have faced this year so far? Yes, Buse.
Third year architecture school, obviously. It is the worst thing that ever happened to me, maybe. I mean, this term semester is just this term studio class. I just even got lost in words. That was that challenging. I mean, this year's studio class was just way too hard for me. We couldn't come up with a design. We couldn't come up with a concept, and we just still try to figure out the things, even though the final is next week. So it was pretty challenging for me. It was pretty challenging for me, and it keeps challenging me. I just want this week to end as soon as it can.
I see. I see. Okay. What about you, Selin?
I think this is going to be cliche after the virus, but returning to normal life after 2 years of coronavirus, because it was very hard at first to go to school and be with people, and I was so used to staying at home in pajamas, every day. I had to think of what I'm gonna wear. İşte, sorry, what I'm gonna wear, and I have to go to school. I have to go to classes. I have to talk to people.
I see. Okay. Nice, nice challenge for both of you. But I just want to ask you, Buse, a question. Have you ever, this is an extra question, have you ever faced, like you said, yeah, I think you're in architecture. For example, think about like you have worked days and days for a kind of a project, and you take it into the classroom, and your teacher tells you like, oh, this is not good, do it again. Have you faced any situation like this?
The thing is, every week, no matter what you did, no matter how much you listen to their critics, they will come up to you and say, this isn't it, do it again. But I had more humiliating experiences. For example, I remember in the final jury that I've been told, this is bullshit, I'm not buying it, this is not a good one. I remember one of the instructors said to me that this is not a second year project, I'm not even going to evaluate it. Wow. So yeah, they just, I mean, this is the thing of, architecture classes, or, the interior architecture, industrial design. They always find a mistake in your designs, and they love humiliating you. They're always mean. You might just get used to it. I remember that sometimes in the first year, they took my project on, that was a little design project, the first year of design. They just took it up and don't do this stupidity. That was just direct.
So hard.
I mean, just imagine. So yeah, and these are not the worst things. I mean, my friends has been through worse situations than me. So just
okay, I think we have I see. We have enough. Thank you. And the rest you can keep it yourself. Okay, not a problem. Thank you very much for sharing that moment. But I can understand the situations. I had a friends also who studied on architectures. I know the situations will really sometimes become really bad for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay then. So let's move to another question. Selin, let's start with you. Can you tell us 5 adjectives that describe an effective language learners?
Okay. First, curious, consistent.
Okay, 2.
Hardworking.
3.
Ambitious.
4.
And active.
5. Okay, thank you very much. 5. Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you. What about you, Buse?
I have only one. Confident.
Confident. Okay, excellent. Okay, that one also good. All right,
yeah,
confident.
Confident. Careless a little bit. Just do not care about people. Curious is actually a good one. It's an important one, to be honest. And I do believe you have to be a little bit extrovert. You have to just push the limits. You have to you cannot do it if you're shy. You just have to understand that everybody is like you. Even the native speakers are making mistakes. I mean, you cannot speak Turkish in a perfect way, right? You make mistakes. So you have to be confident about it. You have to be careless about it. You just have to go for it.
Definitely. I agree with you. Thank you, both of you. All right. By the way, just two questions left. Time flies, you know. Okay. So let's move to the next question. This is a very interesting question also. Yes, let's start with you, Buse. Think about it. We finished the interview and you step outside the off or home or office, wherever you're, or school, and find a lottery ticket that ends up winning $10 million. What would you do?
Move.
Nice.
I always wanted to live in New York City. I feel like it is the heart of life, literally, in the name of architecture, in the name of art, in the name of social life. So I always wanted to be there. I always wanted to be a part of New York City. So I would probably go there and buy a condo for $6 million or something, and just and spend the rest of the money like in a week or so. I just spend so much sometimes if I have the money. So yeah,
Nice.
I will not even try to invest on something. I will just spend it on, I don't know, sneakers, technological things, clothes. Like, huge spender I am. There
I
will be a
see.
$10 million like after a month or so. Yeah.
Yeah, you can spend all of them in just a couple days. Nice one, really great, great. Okay, what about you, Selin?
I would buy a house for $2 million. I already planned it. I always think like that. Plans. I always plan stuff like that. And I would buy a house for $2 million in America, first of all. And I will put my bank account $5 million, and I would spend the rest of it. I will travel the world right away.
Nice one, thank you. You make some investment, and okay, you're gonna put your money, some of, yeah, like, all right, great ideas about using $10 million. Nice ideas. All right, and here is the last question. Okay, let's start with you, Selin. What is your motto?
It's simple and it's short. You only live once, so just do it.
Oh, I see. Okay, what about you, Buse?
I don't have any. This can be a motto, to be honest.
I don't have any.
I don't have any. Life changes, you change, so your motto will probably change also. So yeah, I don't have any. It's just like,
Okay,
just
I
live a
see.
life through it.
Oh, I see. Okay, not a problem. All right. Okay then. So that's all about my questions to you, girl, to both of you. Before ending our live sessions, would you like to add anything else? Selin, let's start with you.
Like I said, I am so glad. I am so happy to be here and speak. Thank you for giving me that chance. And I am nice to meet you, Buse. I think we should be friends. You are a really fun person. You look like a
Thank you
fun
so
person.
much. Thank you.
I want to be friends with you.
Okay.
Oh, very good.
It will be really lovely. Yeah.
Oh,
It will be really
wonderful.
lovely.
Let's meet sometime.
Okay, it's okay. I'm always in Izmir, so it's just like we are close. We can do it. Yeah.
I'm
Great.
Izmir too. I'm at Izmir too.
Yeah, it's same city. We can always find a place to visit each other. Yeah.
Why not?
Great. Wonderful talk. All right then. What about you, Buse?
I don't have really much things. I mean, we covered most of the things, but maybe it can come as an I'm not going to say advice, but it can be a little bit of a thing from a student to teachers that just encourage your students to speak on themselves, you know, make them talk in their home alone in front of the mirror, because it just boosts your confidence. It just gives you a lot of confidence, and it just gives you an opportunity to talk about the things you like. You know, it's not being crazy. It's just keeping yourself engaged with the English world, you know, the people of it. So
I
just
see.
just encourage them to do things on their own. I mean, it doesn't have to be a homework kind of thing, but just instead of giving them lots of papers and lots of duties, just tell them to do something in English that they like. It can be watching a TV show maybe, and they can just figure out again
Again,
words,
nice one.
some words that they didn't know about, or some things they catched up. I mean, just build their confidence on that instead of building them on papers. Yeah, basically.
I
So
see. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, the both
thank you
of
so
you.
much.
All right then.
Thank you
Before ending up it, I would like to say one more time thank you to Buse and Selin and being with us here tonight and with student talks. And we had a really fruitful time, and we had the chance to listen to their ideas and suggestions about some hard and some interesting questions to them. And we are going to be here again next week with another two students from different universities. And until next time, take care of yourself wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And until the next time, take care of yourselves and peace, everybody, and bye bye. Bye bye,
Bye.
Buse and Selin. Thank you very
Goodbye.
much.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.